Hello, and welcome to the Santaland podcast. I created it just for you. I'm your host, Tony Felice. In each episode, I'll read to you for 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about what we just heard. Like the cricket in my story, I'll guide you through a grown-up fairy tale, one that explores ideas of existence, identity, and the soul's journey through trauma, and the transformative power of love. By the end, you'll have heard my whole story, a sneak peek into the creative process of bringing a book to life. Maybe we'll read other books together. But for now, follow the wise cricket and discover the Santaland within yourself, a place of hope, connection, and peace that's already inside of you. This podcast is especially made for those like me who feel a little different and maybe talk about math at weddings or philosophy at funerals. And like me, maybe you have a loving husband, or a wife, or somebody else that loves you. If not, we're here to love you, because you're in good company, my dear friends, here in Santaland. Hello, and welcome back to the Santaland podcast. We are now in the season of Halloween, and tonight we read chapter 35, entitled The Space Between What Is Known and Unknown. David walked into the barn and crossed the space to his workshop. Tom hung up the phone. He sighed. "Who is that, hon? Meredith?" David asked as he entered the barn. "No," Tom said. "Claire?" "No, it's nothing, just a thing I had to take care of." "Oh, okay. I just stopped in to get some notepaper." "Do you need some help?" Tom asked. "No, I know where it is. I'll be out of your way in a second." "You don't have to go," Tom said, smiling. David thought, that's a funny face that he's making, and then said, "I need to get back to the house. Do you need something?" "No, nothing. It's all good," Tom replied. "Go. I'll catch you on the flip." "Okay, see you." Tom turned towards the sea. He sat. Finally, he said out loud, "I wonder if I can finish in time." Chirp. The water was as 5D as Tom had ever seen. Light from beyond the blue edge of the ocean made the whole thing feel impossible. He paced around the island in the center of the room. It was a representation of the life that they had lived. By himself and with David. Some of the art leaning against the walls was arresting and familiar. Light divided the canvases into two works of art, somber and joyful. Light. Now there's a thought. Tom traversed the concrete floor, seeing individual universes of dust caught in rays of sunshine. He picked out one speck in the fractured light, thinking, so small and precious this speck. A whole world under a microscope. To you and I, nothing more than a relevant thing. The same could be said of our planet, a small speck in a giant void. Such a thing might be considered irrelevant if you were traveling at the speed of light, planets flying by as you travel along a Newtonian highway. Not purposeless unless you move beyond the realm of your own perspective into a space where ideas are formed. The place in between the speck and the relevance, in the space between what is known and that which is unknown. Do specks of dust hang suspended in air until they're seen, and then, with their performance done, settle upon the surface of intent? Patterns form in nature so brilliantly as to feel constructed that way, as if chance was nothing more interesting than riding the wave and tumbling off in perfect time to arrive and take your position where you're supposed to be. Tom had spent his adult life seeking answers, only to uncover more questions. It was evident in his subject matter. His first novel, a rather low-key celebration of the difficulty of launching a business, had received positive press as well as some negative feedback. As fortune would have it, that negative feedback was what put him on the bestseller list and into the watchful eye of Meredith. Tom later discovered that she was interested in him from a vague, vulgar curiosity, having seen him on The Late Show. The book title alone would have never gotten past her, quote, "How do I unfuck this place?" Which was funny, well written, and somewhat poetic were the words that Meredith used in describing his first achievement, reducing its importance by framing it in air quotes. "It's about doing your best without being attached to an outcome, Meredith. Doing it for excellence sake alone," Tom had said. Meredith replied, "Not being attached to an outcome is something only the rich can do, darling." Tom thought about specks and ideas and clouds until the mist cleared and the trance was broken. "Who's attached to what?" said David as he entered the space. "Oh, nothing. You know how my mind goes in circles. It's why you love me." David gave him an inviting look. "Slow your roll, Tiger. We have a house full of people," he said. "But the barn's empty," Tom replied. "Lock the door," David said. Tom's phone buzzed, and so did I, over in the corner. "Can crickets blush?" "Chirp." Okay, so we are now in Halloween, and not much to say about this except Tom is wondering about a speck of dust. Well, that's what artists do. We wander around our spaces. We look at stuff. We look at desk toys, as Tom has done. We look at the ocean, or if you're looking at mountains or something else. We pace. We see a speck of dust, and we have a poetic response to its existence. Isn't that something? And then he equates that same richness of an idea of a speck that under microscope is a whole world, but it could be considered irrelevant. Sort of a Horton Hears a Who experience, if you will. Are we the Who's? Is there a Horton? Sometimes the purpose of a creation comes almost towards the end of the creation, and the whole thing is redone because the sentence arrived, or the intention is now more clear, or the performance is better, or the words sound more true. There's also relevance here. Halloween, of course, is the time of year that Tom was experienced that childhood trauma. But Halloween is very important to him and David. All the holidays are, as we're learning as we go along. But this idea of being a speck and being considered irrelevant, like the Earth, if you're traveling at light speed, the Earth is completely irrelevant because it's become nothing but a streak across the glass, probably. If that, I don't know what it's like to travel at the speed of light. I imagine it's quite the experience. But all things are both profound and perceived as irrelevant at the same time. Ain't that something? Ain't that a kick in the pants, as one of my favorite characters used to say. I hope this plane isn't bothering you, because I'm contemplating whether or not to redo this chapter because of the plane flying over. But those planes flying over look down at me and consider me irrelevant, that's for sure. Anyone in the plane looking down as it's making that noise, flying over my house, instead of flying over the river, I think, where it should go, but flying over my house nonetheless, is that all my experience of it is irrelevant to those flying over, to the pilot. They have no awareness that they have disrupted something, the creative flow, if you will. So I guess if there's any lesson here, is that nothing is irrelevant, even if it appears to be so. That's some heavy stuff. What do you guys like about Halloween? What do you like about the holidays? Send me a note. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, that's that chapter for now. And I will catch you on the next episode. This is a short one for the Santaland podcast. Thanks for being here, And God bless. Take care.